All right, what up, YouTube? It's Mr. Booth in the booth with
Right.
Trent. We're doing a Oklahoma versus Tennessee preview and prediction video tonight. So that's what we got right now.
Lame man video.
Anything
I'm fucking with you.
anything you want to say?
No.
Is this what we got going tonight?
This is what we got.
This is what we're doing. All right, so we're starting to get into the meat of conference play from this weekend forward. Games that are being played from this weekend forward are going to have playoff seed implications, conference championship play implications. As of right now, both these teams have aspirations of making the playoffs. Tennessee, let me talk. Add something if you need to. Let me talk. Tennessee's fire hot right now on both sides of the ball. I think it's pretty obvious they're playoff caliber. Oklahoma's kind of like an outside looking in kind of situation when you're talking them meeting the playoffs.
They're not making the playoffs.
What do you got to say about that?
They're not making the playoffs.
So OU is the first of the two new SEC teams in the SEC, meaning Oklahoma and Texas, to draw an SEC game. They got Tennessee this weekend in Norman, night game. Texas is playing. Who are y'all playing this week?
ULM.
So they still haven't started their conference
Reign of
play.
Terror. Our reign of terror.
Huge storylines behind this game. You know, you had Josh Heupel. He played at OU for 2 years, won a Heisman there, took them to a national championship in 2001. So he coached there for a few years. There was some animosity between him and the fans, so it's going to be very interesting to see how they welcome him into Norman this weekend. I don't know if it's going to be open arms or booze and mustard bottles, kind of like we did Kiffin a few years back, but we shall see. And then you got the QB situation. Two of the highest rated QBs coming out of that class, and Nico Iamaleava for the Vols and Jackson Arnold for OU.
Never heard of that guy.
It's a OU starting quarterback. This is both their second year in college, both starting. I think the obvious edge goes to Nico. He has more passing yards. He has a higher passing percentage. Just all around, Nico just looks better than Jackson, if you ask me. Brent Venables has had a major turnaround in defense. I think this is the best defense that Brent has brought in. It's not elite or great or anything by no means. I don't know if it's capable of stopping or slowing down that Tennessee high tempo offense. We will have to wait and see. Tennessee's defensive secondary, they haven't had a real test yet, in my opinion. I mean, Kent State, NC State, Chattanooga. They've completely shut them down. There hasn't been an offensive touchdown scored on Tennessee's defense, but this is going to be their first real test. But at the same time, they have not allowed a offensive touchdown going all the way back to the bowl game last year against Iowa. Complete shutout in Nico's first start. So you got that. Tennessee is one of the best defensive players in the country this year in James Pierce. He can really get to a quarterback. It's going to be interesting to see what OU does about that. Jackson Arnold is a first-year starter. And one of the things a defensive coordinator is going to do is get him uncomfortable, make him make mistakes. Don't give him time in that pocket. He doesn't have a lot of experience in that starting position, so they're going to try to get him uncomfortable early, make him make mistakes, make him not have a good game as soon as they can. Tennessee's defense has to do that to Jackson Arnold. They have to make him make mistakes to win this ball game in Norman. They haven't been underdogs in Norman in a long time, and they are. Last I checked on DraftKings, I think it was 7.
7. It's 7.
Yeah. OU's offensive line has had questions coming into this year. They've improved compared to last year, but I don't think it's great by any means. Jackson Arnold is good. They've had a few good wide receivers. That Deion Burks kid, he's number 6. he can make plays when you need him to. He's nothing to mess around with. They've got their best. I forget his name. Their best wide receiver. He didn't play the last 3 games. I don't know if he was hurt or if he got suspended or what, but he's coming back. So he can be a difference maker too. We haven't got to see him this year, but we'll see. They run the ball decent, but they're not on Tennessee's level. Not on Dylan Sampson. So I don't know. With that being said, I don't know how that OU defense is going to stack up against Tennessee's offense at all. If I was an OU fan, I'd be worried about this game on both sides of the ball. Tennessee's just better on both sides of the ball in wide receivers, running backs, defense, secondary, just everywhere. I see a huge advantage in this game when you compare Tennessee's offense to OU's defense. I think Tennessee's offense right now is way too far ahead compared to OU's defense. They put up somebody pulled up the numbers. They said Houston had like over 200 yards rushing against OU. I'm pretty sure, if I'm correct. That's insane. What you got to say? You got anything to add there? This is y'all's biggest rival.
Not yet until we get to the prediction of it.
All right. So defensive coordinators like to find an offensive strong point and attack it. And while Tennessee has a very well-known wide receiver room, and I'm not saying that they're great by any means, but that they make big names for themselves on ESPN and what else, like On 10, stuff like that, because you watch Nico hit one of them in stride, 6-yard bomb, and it'll be all over, everywhere, kind of like Jalen Hyatt with Hendon Hooker in that Alabama game. I still see that all the time on social media. And I'm not saying that if you look at Jalen Hyatt right now in the NFL, he's not some, just amazing NFL caliber wide receiver. It's just he had a quarterback that could hit him in stride, and it just made him shine. So, but if you do that against Tennessee, if you play backfield more, then Dylan Sampson, he's going to average 9 yards a carry, and vice versa. If you try to shut down Sampson, Nico's going to air that bitch out 60, 70 yards. So I don't think OU has what it needs on either side of the ball to win the game at all. The last time OU played in Norman and was the underdog was in 2016 against Ohio State. They were a 2-point underdog, and they lost by 3 touchdowns. The spread's 7 the last time I checked on DraftKings, and I think they more than cover that. 2 points, 2016 to Ohio State, lost by 3 touchdowns. It's now 7 against Tennessee in their first SEC game in Norman. So, what is your score prediction? And then I'm going to say mine.
Well, I'm gonna say everybody. I hear a lot of Tennessee fans saying that they're worried about it and they don't want to put any money on Tennessee. They don't want to talk high about Tennessee yet because they haven't seen much from them. This game is going to be so bad. It's going to be so one-sided. Oklahoma is not going to know what to do. They're not. I don't know if they break double-digit points. I don't know if they might only score 3 points this whole game. If they do, my personal final prediction score is 49-10 Tennessee.
Okay, so we're pretty close. I've got it written down right here.
But I also can't, with how they played against Houston, a team we had going 1-11.
Yeah, I think you had them 1-11.
They scored 16 points. To think that they would score anywhere close to that against Tennessee,
they let Houston put up 200 rushing yards on them.
To say they'd score anywhere close to that to Tennessee is insane. It's not going to be it's going to be. I would like to say 49-3, but just because I got a bet on the touchdowns, I need it to be 49-7. I mean 49-10.
You got it 49-10, so we're close.
49-10 is what I need.
I've got this written down. I've had it written down. I did not know.
I'm hoping Oklahoma scores a touchdown, at least one. I just need them to score one. I hope him. I just want him to score one.
I had no clue he was going to say that. I've had this written down all day. So he said, you said 49-10. I've got 45-17. So we're pretty damn close.
Yeah, no, it's going to be horrible.
Okay.
Horrible.
Well,
I don't.
Hell yeah.
The way Tennessee's played compared to Oklahoma, Oklahoma I don't think should be top 25. If they are, they should be closer to 23, 24, or 25. They're not a good team this year. They're a horrible team. It's gonna be a horrible game. Nowhere near close to what it should be. Well, I mean, if Oklahoma was actually a top 15 ranked team like they are, it would be a way closer game than what it is going to be.
I agree with you 100%. I think Tennessee goes in there and absolutely mollywops them in Norman. And I'm going to love every bit of it because I've said it before and I'm going to say it again. I'm in all these groups. Since I started this little podcast talk show, got all social medias on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. The Oklahoma delusion, you know, they coming into the SEC this year thinking, I've heard so many people say they're making the SEC championship game. Some say they're going to win it. Some say they're not going to be in the playoffs either way. It's insane. I mean, the Oklahoma delusion is almost as bad as the Florida Gator delusion. So, a little bit of a humble, take a step down, wake up call, whatever you want to call it. I think OU fans need it bad because this ain't the Big 12. You're not. I don't care what you did over there, how many times you beat this team, that team, how many times you played for that conference championship. This ain't that, babe. This ain't that. Huge wake up call coming Saturday, starting at 7:30.
Yeah.
I look forward to watching every second of it. This has been In the Booth with Mr. Booth
And Trent.
You gotta. Y'all have a good night.